should you ever be choosing a specific field of national interest based on USCI's priorities to contribute to as early as possible? Does that actually matter too? If you can show you've been contributing for the last couple of years or contributing intensely for the last 6 months to a year to a field of national interest that's specified in the policy manual? Or would that make it so obvious that to USCIS that you're actually just profile building towards NIW?
This is a tricky question on several different levels. Because first, the national priorities are always changing. They're very, very different now than what they were 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 6 years ago, and so on and so forth. So targeting a specific area of national interest with the idea that you're going to file an EB-2 NIW, it can be good, but it could also backfire if you pick the wrong one and all of a sudden a certain other set of fields are now a national priority. I think it's generally more important to choose something that you're interested in and that your qualifications and your interests are naturally pushing you towards. And you can be more of a generalist in that field, at least to start. And then when you are getting ready to file the EB-2 NIW, at that point you should look at the most recent White House memos, executive orders, administrative guidance, rules. You can talk to an attorney about all of that, or you can see what's popular just through some internet searches. And then focus some activities that relate to the work that you've been doing, but also open it up towards certain national priorities that kind of match. Sometimes it's not an exact match. Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult, but a lot of times it actually flows very, very naturally and very well. If you have focused on doing like really good technical work or good scientific work or good management and leadership, and you have some contributions and you have some accolades already, doing some participation in other groups or organizations or publishing something that's in a very specialized area, kind of moving towards a national interest field, it isn't something that's going to be seen as abnormal or mismatch. It's just a subtle redirection of the career path or the career profile. I don't think most of the time that USCIS is really concerned about people profile building or building up their career. It's a little different in the EB-1 context if an officer thinks that the person is just trying to check some things off the list. But national interest waivers, they don't have a list. They don't have a certain set of qualifications that you have to meet or that you have to check off. It's all about looking at the holistic picture of the person's career and profile and proposed endeavor, or what they're going to do in the US. So as long as the story makes sense, as long as the activities that you're pursuing make sense and flow naturally, it's probably going to be a pretty good case. So I guess just overall recommendations is you should be aware of what the national priorities are. You should be aware of how things are shifting in tech, how priorities are shifting at the government policy level. But focus on your career and on the things that would normally make you not seen as extraordinary, because you don't need to rise to that level, but seen as a really competent professional, above average, who is really engaged and is able to contribute to the United States. That's really what you want to show in your profile.